So, hey guys, today we're going to be discussing the Yamato Masterclass. So, modules. Aiming systems, really, you wouldn't go for anything else. Main battery mod because the turrets are pretty slow, but I would still go for aiming systems for the 7% dispersion. Propulsion is a good choice. Steering is not going to help because they're already pretty bad at steering. Damage control is an option because you do take a lot of fire damage and flooding duration as well. It might help, but for me, I like to get places and dodge things faster to get out of the way. So propulsion for me. Target position, we're going to talk about that. There's something else you can do, and main battery mod would be a field to pick secondaries. So yeah, that's that. Commander. I went for a full accuracy build, so Andrew Cunningham for better grouping, and then Azure Lane Scharnhorst for better dispersion. If you don't have Azure Lane Scharnhorst, there's plenty of options here. I'd go for, I built here, I'm not going to discuss this right now. I would go for Auto, or maybe Renard Shear to reduce fires, or even Hepper to reduce fire damage. Now, as you can see, all these skills are basically towards gunnery, because all you want to do is work on the guns of the Yamato, because the guns of the Yamato are really good. Realtor build, and the reason I don't make Tagagi Legendary 3, which I could, is because of marksmanship. I don't want that 10% debuff for Butter Shift, for only 30% more dispersion of main battery. So, yeah, that's the Yamato for you. Now, onwards towards the armour scheme of the Yamato. Now, as you can see, this, forget about the side plating here, the nose is 32 and the stern 32. So you can actually overmatch your own self in the Yamato. You can overmatch another Yamato. And the citadel, as you can see here, the red part, is actually shaped it's like a hexagonal citadel. So you can actually get pens on the side there. You see that angle there? If they hit just behind the front and second turret, there's actually a flat angle for your citadel. So even angled, you can actually get messed up. So you need to be really careful about that. Additionally, your citadel is actually exposed on the sides. You see that? Literally exposed. That's it there. Let's pop it back out. Let's pop everything off. Take off the citadel. Literally exposed. Very heavily armoured citadel, but it's citadel and it is exposed. Also, to be your protection, that's where it is. Nowhere else can you be hit where your 55% of your protection will actually activate and be used just on that part. So behind the first turret, just slightly behind half of the first turret and half of the back turret. That's the start and that's the end part. That's it. Everything else full torpedo damage. So it's pretty darn rough. Now, Yamato can overmatch 32mm of armour because of the 18.1 inch gun, so every battleship in the game can get overmatched except it goes to Care First. 32mm, Iowa, overmatchable. See that? Done. Let's go for the Russian Vladivostok. Very tanky boat. Probably one of the tankiest boats in Tier 7. You see here, 32mm, you see that? The icebreaker bit there, but 32mm. Yeah, so very tanky Vladivostok. Food. Lenin's also got 32mm, but you see that armor, the icebreaker there? Icebreaker is not overmatchable, but you see there is 32mm, you can still do massive damage. So, on to the game. We've got Sea of Fortune. We've actually got Spotted Gecko here in this game, in the Shimikaze. And we're going to have a wee bit of a predicament in this game. Yamato is a support ship. It's not a solo ship. You want to be supporting your team from a comfortable range, but not ridiculously at the back of the map. It just does not work that way. You'll get damage, sure, but you're not actually going to influence the game. All you're going to do is just snipe people, and you're really not going to get much out of it. You'll get high damage gains, sure, but you're not going to contribute to the win of the game. You need to put pressure on the team, you need to scare. The whole thing of the Yamato can is supporting your team. Supporting it, and you'll see you do. So, my team are basically sitting where I should be sitting. I want to be sitting where I can support people pushing into the cap. If anyone tries to disrupt them in the cap, I send my big 18.1 inch guns their way. So, see it goes to Care First. At this range, you can keep it, you can angle comfortably, and you're probably not going to get hit too hard. So, angle or just go straight bow on. The only thing that you need to worry about when you're bow on is another Yamato. Fortunately though, this game matchmaking is kind of preferable for me no other Yamatos. So 20k to that curve first. Let's keep that angle going and start slowing down. If you slow down, you'll get to your turn a little bit faster. If you're stationary, that's a different story, but if you just slow down your ship, you'll actually turn a bit better. So, getting the third gun, open up for this Alaska, who's given me a broadside, spotter plane out, and yeah, hopefully get a good result there. Shells do take quite a while to arrive, so you really want to catch people off guard. It's not about seeing people and getting like that. There we go, just the one citadel, but that's pretty good. We're already up to 45,000 damage. Pretty good damage. Now, unfortunately, my team are actually carrying behind me there. This is exactly not what the Yamato is made for. It's made for supporting people. It's not made for leading a push. It's not a good brawler. The side armor in this thing is atrocious. It may listen to people there, but it's literally an exposed citadel. And you've also got that weakness on the side armor, on the front turret there. If they pen that part and you're giving an angle, it's actually presenting a flat broadside to your citadel. So it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. You need to be careful about your armor. You need to be aware if you either need to go about on or simply just about a very marginal, like 2-degree angle. So you'd be really careful. There's a destroyer here. I cannot push anymore, so I have to back up a little bit. Unfortunately, none of my team have pushed with me. I think it's the destroyer there? I'm not even sure. There we go. Originally catches me off guard there, actually, but fortunately I just angled enough and a little bit more RNG in my favour there, where I can actually avoid taking really any damage, which is nice. Kurfürst is pushing in again. He didn't learn his first lesson, and I'm trying to punish him for that. Now, I'm pretty safe where I am, but I'm really wanting this team to push in, because if we don't push in, we're not going to win. This is how you win games, it's not by sitting at the back of the map and sniping, because that's not what the Yamato's made for. A lot of people think that. That's not the case. You really need to be a supporting person. Push with your team. Retreat with your team. You need to be working towards that. Because if you're doing that, you'll see you'll win a lot more games. Your damage values, we'll see, but you'll win the games. That's all we're here for. After all, we're here to win the games. So you're here to win the games, and when you're with this team, you can push closer than a normal Yamato would, who's just sniping in the back. You'll do much better. Hipper, completely unaware of my presence. These targets are great for you because the time it takes for your shells to arrive, it's a long time. He's noticed me there, and fortunately for him, I just got one over him. But he noticed the shells and backed away. He was actually more observant than I thought. But I have to push now. I just have to do it because if we don't push from now, I feel we're going to struggle. Fortunately, on our side of the map, I'm looking at with hindsight. Oh, excuse me. They're taking Charlie. It's great. We've put some pressure on these DDs though, that are putting us and drawing us away, kind of corralling us to the back of the map. Excuse me, sorry. Spotted Gecko here, popping the torpedoes. He's doing a really good job right now. It's just keeping them spotted for us to take advantage of it. And he's kind of also screening for torpedoes. Their destroyer, smoked up. Oh no, that's a rolling smoke for the Yamato, never mind. The destroyer could be on the left, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just being careful. I'm messing with my throttle here to try and avoid enemy torpedoes. Yamato's not great at turning, but it can be done. You can always turn, you can always change your course and speed. All these things really help for what a destroyer's aim. That Amalfi did not realise that going broadside onto Yamato this range is almost suicide. So there's the Alaska. He's behind an island. I can't do much about it. I must push in and just try my best to try and get my team to push with me, because I'm kind of spearheading the attack, doing exactly what Yamato shouldn't do, but I'm doing this because my team are sitting in the back. I need to support my team. This is all a support ship. This is not a solo man ship. This is a support ship. You support your team. Doing pretty decent there. Dodged the first set. Both the destroyers are over here though. That's a little bit unfortunate, and I'm definitely going to take one torp at least. My only hope is now is to take it on the belt. See that? That's why I'm accelerating. So I take one on the belt. See the little damage it did? That was on the belt. Other torpedoes, if I take any more, probably not going to be the belt. Probably going to be the nose. Alaska's get taken out. And I repair flooding because I don't think... Well, you know, I feel it's a good idea to repair the flooding right now. Because I've got protection to my right for torpedoes. And to my left there's a lot of ships. So there's a lot of potential here. Now, make a mistake here, push a little bit too soon. Shouldn't be doing that. Oh, dodge these torpedoes, which is nice. But I give a kind of broadside to the Richelieu. And really not a good idea. Gonna take one torpedo on the nose, that's gonna do full damage. There we go. 17k. It's like French or something, I'm not even sure. So Richelieu has an opportunity to absolutely blap my broadside. If he was Jean Bart, I might have been dead right now. So, really not a good idea what I've done, but I can overmatch every part of the Richelieu because every part of the Richelieu is 32mm. The only part it's not is actually the guns. I'm angled, he doesn't aim at the right spot to hit my weak cheek armour. He tries it there, but just was not doing it. Doing my best to can just to angle and get bow on. I'm in reverse and I'm turning. See this? I'm trying to adjust my problem here. Richelieu, on the other hand, will guarantee to be chunked very, very hard by my guns, because everything I fire at him will pen. Only when I'm hitting his guns. And when I hit his guns, there's a chance I can disable them, which is always nice. I'm flooding again, by the way. I repaired the flood, which is fortunate enough. And I need to really just need to kill this Richelieu. There's a good Yamato-sized gap for those torpedoes. Fire what I can. The other gap is interesting. I might be able to dodge it if I accelerate right now. Nope. Okay. Well, actually, torpedoes ran out of steam. That's good. That's very good. Richelieu goes down, so that relieves a lot of stress off me. My team are actually pushing, and I'm leading the charge here. It's just really more of a close to first job, but you can see if you push in a Yamato, you're close and you're supported, and you support your team, you can pull off some crazy damage numbers. You can do really well, and you can really support your team. Look at that, devastating strike right now. Prime example of that. I wouldn't do that I wouldn't be able to do that as reliably if it wasn't so close. And the only reason I'm close is because my team are always here. My team are here, I must go where my team. It's like the Colorado. You're really not fast enough to do things on your own, so you kind of work with the team. So, just like the Yamato is a support ship. It's not a standalone boat, it's a support ship. You support your team. If you're off your own, sniping in the back, you're really not taking advantage of the true potential of this boat. So yeah, just, now, you know, most of the threats have been neutralized, it's just those two DDs. One has been spotted on besides the island where he cannot hit me, and there's a boat ahead of me that will spot the torpedoes. I believe it's in Alaska. So yeah. I'll have advance warning, so I can be a bit more brave now. I'm well angled against the Yamagi, and even if he fires, the time it takes for his shells to arrive. It was there, one fantastic French torpedoes. The time it takes for his shells to arrive, I can dodge comfortably. Meanwhile, overmatch of 30mm and just simply hard-hitting guns. He is giving broadside, which doesn't help at all for him. Really rips him a new one, so very difficult to deal with. Very difficult to deal with at all. And there we go. That's another citadel, and that's him out. So, because I pushed and I was played as smart as I could in that situation, look at the results there. 4 kills, unsinkable, dreadnought, Confederate, 2 dev strikes, and high caliber, 268,000 damage, 3,589 base XP. That's the example if you play the Yamato correctly and you look at the difference there. Imagine another game where I just sit and snipe in the back. You know, wouldn't be a case. So hope this helps, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.